Hello and welcome back to the Football Chat. We are here for Premier League predictions once again. Game week 18 now, which, we're almost halfway through the season. Only one game off the 19th, which will be halfway through the 38. Obviously, this isn't Connor. Connor, unfortunately, is not here yet. We're doing this just before we go live for Arsenal West Ham. So, make sure to go check that stream out from a couple of days ago if you haven't seen that one. But, let's get into the predictions. It's game week 18. There's a few big games and then just a couple dead ones, to be honest. It's an alright game week. It's better than the week we've just had. Yeah. With
when it had what Super Sunday was Palace, it was Leicester Newcastle.
Yeah, the last two game weeks have been pretty bad.
Terrible.
Other than pretty much.
But last Sunday was terrible games. I think did I predict that one?
Chelsea Leeds and City Watford.
And the televised games were terrible.
Yeah. Brighton Wolves I remember as well. That was pretty much the best game of the weekend.
Speaking of Brighton.
Damn, good segue. First game. It's at Old Trafford. And it's Manchester United versus Brighton. Rangnick, he's had an interesting start to life as the new United boss. I mean, not perfect. They've pretty much just won every game 1-0, right?
Yeah.
And then beat Arsenal 3-2 as well. They didn't play against Brentford, which is a game off for them. That could go either way, I think.
Yeah.
Either that could be a positive because they're going to be fresher for this Brighton fixture, or it could be a negative because they're going to be less match sharp.
They've shown that they don't concede, but equally they haven't been scoring that many. Obviously, the one at Norwich came through a penalty.
And Brighton are the kings of scoring a late equaliser when 1-0 down at the moment.
Neil Maupay smacked it in the 96th minute.
Yeah, I think I'm going to stick with a 1-1 for this one. Neil Maupay or Trossard last minute.
1-1. Be like a Ronaldo penalty in the 54th, and then Maupay will just head it in the 95th.
Because United against Norwich did not look very
awful.
good. Norwich should have won that game. If they had one or two more players, I do think Norwich could have done that. Yeah, they didn't have Josh Sargent pretty much. They would have been all right. But United, they don't look like a significantly better side from the Ollie era.
Well, they fixed their main problem, which was conceding goals and defensively.
Well, I think that is why they're not scoring as many, is because they're focused on just securing the ship at the back, and then that means they just aren't going to lose every game 6-0 anymore. But Man United, Brighton. On to the next one. Aston Villa, Burnley. Villa in the week beat Norwich 2-0. Game before that,
they lost 1-0 to Liverpool. But I was looking at it today. In Gerrard's first 6 games, Villa have won all 4. The only 2 losses. They've won all 4 of his first 6 games. In Gerrard's 6 games, they've won 4 and they've lost 2. Their only 2 losses came at Liverpool and City, who are the biggest team, 2 best teams in the league realistically, and they only lost by 1 goal.
Yeah, well, they've certainly become a better defensive side since Gerrard's appointment and Smith's departure.
Jacob Ramsey is one of the best midfielders in the Premier League right now.
Great, that's absolute bollocks. But we move. Burnley. Who do they face? I can't remember who they got at the moment.
Someone.
I know they drew 0-0 West Ham. I can't remember who they got midweek, but
they have Watford.
Oh yeah, that's tomorrow or today?
That is tonight.
Tonight. So 2 days ago for you guys watching or listening at home. I reckon they probably would have lost that one to Watford. So coming off possibly a loss, but a good draw against West Ham. Villa only lost to Liverpool 1-0. Pretty good for them, and then they beat Norwich, but again, Norwich aren't the best. I do think Villa will win this, though.
Easily. Watkins on form. Jacob Ramsey on form.
Yeah, Watkins is on form. Ramsey, good goal against Norwich.
If Buendia's look good as well.
If they start Buendia on the right, I think they'll have more success.
Maybe not Ashley Young. I love Ashley Young, though.
Ashley Young's playing well.
John McGinn is incredible.
I do think Watkins will get moved out to the left, then so they can incorporate Ings into the formation.
Yeah, obviously Villa are missing Marvellous Nakamba.
Yeah.
But I don't really...
But still, a midfield 3 of Ramsey, McGinn and Luiz isn't poor.
Norwich. Exactly.
It's Norwich.
I'm going to say 3-0 Villa.
It's Norwich with no centre backs. I'm gonna go with 1-0 Villa. Goal from Matt Target. Why not? All this attacking threat, but it's gonna be Matt Target who hits the target. Come on, absolute
I knew that was
quality joke. Anyway, next game: Southampton versus Brentford. Southampton. I don't know. They're very up and down at the moment. But then Brentford have also been on a bit of a poor run.
Well, Brentford have looked.
Brentford, without Raya in goal, they look very bad compared to what they did with Raya in goal.
I still think they're better than Southampton. I still think they'll beat Southampton.
Oh, but then Southampton have got like Broa, Livramento, who can cause issues. Obviously, they had Palace in the week, which is tonight for us, so we haven't seen that yet. But I think they could nick a draw there. We can just go on. Can't remember who they had.
Saints.
Was it City? Nah.
No,
they played them ages ago.
City had Wolves. It was.
Was it Watford? No, that was
Arsenal. They lost 3-0.
Oh yeah, Arsenal. Which is a bit of a disappointing loss, but Arsenal are in good form at the moment.
I think Brentford have. Well, I mean, away from home, I think it'll be close. I'm going to say 2-1 Brentford.
I'm going to go opposites. I'm going to go 3-1 Southampton.
Okay.
I think Armando Broa, if he starts, which I think he will because Adams is out, at least for the Palace game, could also be the Brentford game. Armstrong's a doubt. Broa's also carrying a knock, but if any of them are going to start, I think it'll be Broa against at least Palace, maybe even Brentford. So yeah, I'm going to go for Armando Broa to get 2. And then Ward-Prowse as well for Southampton. Tony to get 1 though for Brentford. Okay. Maybe like a late goal, late consolation for the away side. On to the next one, and it's two London sides. I imagine this is also 3 p.m. Watford versus Crystal Palace. Watford are in really good form.
Both teams
but
are.
Palace just seem to have a very strong side.
I think this is going to be one of those type of games. It's going to be high scoring. You've got Watford, they've got Dennis, Sard, King if he turns up on his day. Palace have got Gallagher, Edouard, Zaha.
Because it's either going to be high scoring in like a 3-3 kind of scenario, or one team is going to run away with it. And it's going to be like, well, how on earth did that happen? We thought that the other ones were pretty decent, but Palace absolutely spanked them here. I'm actually going to go for that. I'm going to go for a 4-1 Palace win. Gallagher at the double again. He got 2 against
Everton.
Everton the weekend, yeah. And then Edouard and Tyrick Mitchell as well to get their 4. And then Dennis for Watford because he's on fire at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're a lot closer than that. I'm going to say 3-2 Palace.
Yeah, scorers?
I think Dennis double and a Gallagher hat-trick.
Wow. Conor Gallagher is really good, to be fair.
Nothing to do with my fantasy team at all.
Oh, yeah, no, nothing to do with it, mate.
Anyway.
I've also got Dennis and Gallagher, so I think that's going to be 6-6 with a double hat-trick for both of them.
I think that's a good one. Yeah, 3-2.
Into the next one. I don't actually know which one's the 6 p.m. The one on TV. I imagine it's Leeds Arsenal.
It will be Leeds Arsenal.
I can't imagine it's West Ham. Let me just check so we can actually get this.
I'll carry on. West Ham, Norwich. Norwich have looked a lot stronger recently. Only lost 1-0 to United and only 2-0 to Villa.
Yeah, it's Leeds Arsenal.
Alright. But I just think both, Norwich away from home struggle a lot more than they do when they've got the crowd, the Carrow Road behind them.
The mighty Carrow Rose.
Maybe, yeah, sure. I think West Ham are very good. They've looked very good, especially at home. I mean, they beat Chelsea a couple of weeks back. They took a game to City away. They've beaten Liverpool this season.
But then Norwich took a game to United. Could they do the same to West Ham here? Could they spring a bit of an upset? I know Norwich don't have any fit centre halves.
No, exactly. Norwich have got.
They've got three out at the moment.
Sam Byram.
Byron played midfield, didn't he? I think it'll probably be Gibson and one other. Hopefully, Omavamadeli is back or Hanley.
Omavamadeli's injured. Hanley's injured. Kabak's injured.
One of the 3 might be back by Saturday. Either way, I think West Ham will win. Bowen's been quality recently.
Definitely.
Antonio's having a solid season. He hasn't scored in a good few weeks though, so I think this could be his chance to get back on the score sheet. Bit of an easier opponent, obviously, in Norwich. I'm going to go for a 3-0 West Ham win.
I was going to say the same thing. 3-0. I think Bowen, Antonio, Ben Rama, Masuaku again. We don't talk about that.
Against Chelsea a few weeks
I
back.
think West Ham have got this easily. I think Norwich will look good in spells and in parts of the game, but I think defensively, with basically no centre backs, I think West Ham
pretty much no team for most games this season, especially when Josh Sargent starts. But alas, on to the next one. It is Leeds versus Arsenal, which is live on certain broadcasters that we won't mention because they're not paying us. But yeah, it's the 5:30 on the Saturday. Leeds United versus Arsenal. Despite Arsenal's really good form coming into this, 3-0 win over Southampton. Don't know how they'd gone against West Ham. I do think Leeds at home home crowd behind them. They didn't do too poorly against Chelsea. They did lose 7-0 to Man City. I think they'll be desperate to bounce back. And absolutely. The Leeds faithful behind them, I could see a Leeds winning.
This is going to be an Emil Smith Rowe masterclass. I think Arsenal it's going to be a demolition. Not as bad as I don't think it'll be 7-0 like City, but I don't think Leeds just won't. I mean, obviously, I guess Arsenal don't have a captain because
Aubameyang's disciplinary issues, chilling in the Barcelona rather than heading to training.
He's leaving, but I'm not sure about that. But yeah, he's lost. Who's the actual captain now? We'll find out.
They haven't given a captaincy yet. There is no official captain, but there is rumours it could be Xhaka, who was stripped of his captaincy when he told the Arsenal fans to F off when they booed him. But yeah, what are you going for then, Arsenal?
I'm going to say 5-0 Arsenal.
Damn, absolute destruction. I'm actually going to go for that Leeds win. And I'm going to go 2-0 Leeds.
Wow, you are a
Bamford and Rafinha to score.
To look after losing 7-0 to Man City.
Yeah, but I think that'll spur them on almost.
Arsenal, though.
They've travelled to Man City. They've been spanked 7-0. The fans will be fuming. They need to do something to win them back round. A 2-0 win over Arsenal a week before Christmas is exactly what they need.
If it was an Everton or a Wolves or a Watford or a Norwich, I'd say, yeah, sure, Leeds are going to bounce back here. But I just think Arsenal are too good. I think Smith Rowe, Ødegaard, Saka just annihilate
Arsenal are in good form, and I know that Connor will be fuming I've said that, because apparently I always predict Arsenal to lose. I swear, I don't mean it. It must just be that I think Arsenal... I secretly think Arsenal are terrible.
I think Arsenal are going to destroy them.
Fair enough. First game on the Sunday then. Everton versus Leicester. I believe this is also on TV. 2:00 game.
Over Chelsea Wolves.
I think Everton, Leicester and Newcastle City are on TV, and then obviously Tottenham Liverpool is well on the Sunday.
Yeah, Everton Leicester.
I really don't know where this one's going to go.
No, because both teams have been very up and down this season.
I think it could come down to individuals. What can Vardy do? What could Daka do? Yeah. What could Gray do? What could
Rondon? You mean he scored against Palace?
What could Richarlison?
That seemed like Everton. So Everton lost. They beat Arsenal, then lost to Palace, and obviously they've got Chelsea tomorrow night.
So that could struggle. That'll be last night for everyone watching.
And then Leicester. I mean, they lost to Villa a couple of weeks back. But then they did well.
I really
don't know.
I think I'm gonna back Leicester in this one. I don't know though.
I think Leicester away from home.
It's such a tough one.
I think it's just one of those where it's a bit boring. It could be a 0-0. I'm going to say 1-1. I'm going to say 1-1.
I'm going to go 0-0 because I don't think either team are very good at scoring at the moment. But then, actually no. Leicester don't have any fit centre-halves.
Are they not?
They've got no. Fofana is out injured. Vestergaard's injured. Soyuncu is either injured or got COVID. But I saw something they've got no centre backs. At least for their game tonight. Who've they got?
Someone
like they've got Tottenham.
Oh yeah.
They've got Tottenham tomorrow. And I know they don't have any centre backs. So I think I don't know whether by Sunday they'll have any centre backs back in the side is they don't.
Even with that, I don't think Everton will beat them.
Yeah, but they've got no centre backs.
It matters. You seen Salomon Rondon?
Richarlison tore the Arsenal centre
His goal against Palace
apart. Leicester have got some youth kid and Amati.
And
I'm actually gonna go for an Everton win here. 2-0. Richarlison and Gray.
I'm gonna stick with 1-1 because I think
Leicester unfortunate with injuries and illnesses.
I think Everton will be all over them because of their weakness. I think they'll score a goal, but then like the 85th minute, Jamie Vardy will just run long ball over top, will run for a goal and just slap it home.
Or we're going to see the situation where this young Leicester defender gets a chance in the first team because of all these injuries and illnesses, and it turns out he's the next Van Dijk.
Hopefully not. But yeah, I think 1-1.
To be fair, Leicester already got enough decent centre-backs. It's just a shame for them they're all injured or ill. On to the next game on Sunday. This one isn't broadcast, but it's still a 2 p.m. kickoff. It's Wolves versus Chelsea. A tough one, because Chelsea, though they're a good side, obviously, but with the amount of injuries they've got and the good form Wolves are in at the moment,
and especially Chelsea, they've been terrible.
Yeah, if Chelsea don't have one of at least two of Georgie, Kante, and Kovacic, then I do think they could struggle against Wolves.
I mean, Wolves obviously lost to City last weekend. But that's understandable.
And Jimenez got himself sent off, being an absolute muppet.
But then Chelsea, they drew to United. They just beat Watford.
And then Leeds was a tight one as well.
Leeds had to go down to 2 Jorginho penalties. Also, we don't know how they did on Thursday against Everton. But it's
they could have gone and spanked them 5-0, in which case we're looking at this very differently. Yeah. It's hard to predict before we know all of the facts going into the game, but I think I'm going to back Chelsea still to come through with the win. Yeah. I'm going to go for 3-1 Chelsea.
Chelsea, against Watford and Leeds, where they've struggled.
Actually, I'm going to go 3-0. I think they're going to keep a clean sheet finally. It's been a while now. They should have at least... I think Kovacic must be back by Wolves. And would have been in training a few days.
I'm going to say 2-0 Chelsea. I think you're right, they'll keep the clean sheet. I think they'll probably grab a goal in the first half and then maybe they'll be on the back foot for a bit, but then last few minutes they'll add a second to make it look comfortable.
And I don't imagine they'll rest too many ahead of their Carabao Cup game in the week. And they won't risk anyone in that game. It'll be like Kepa and Alonso. Well, to be fair, I do think Chelsea needs to bring back a left back or sign some. Either recall Marston from Coventry or buy a left back.
Right, 2-1. I'm gonna say 2-1. I'm gonna say 2-1. Chelsea.
Alonso's always got a mistake in him. He gave away the penalty against Leeds.
He's just tragic at defending.
But there's no one else at the moment with Chilwell out for ages. So hopefully for Chelsea they get a left back.
Tragic defending.
On the topic of tragic defending, yeah. Newcastle versus Man City. It's at St James's Park. Could Newcastle, with the home crowd behind them, secure a fantastic win against the Manchester City? To be fair, Newcastle have been a bogey side for City in recent years.
No.
I know City have just won 7-0.
Newcastle
have played Liverpool.
Can't defend. They've got Kieran Clark at the back. And Man City have just won 7-0 against Leeds. I think this could be another 7-0.
And 14 goals in 2 games for Man City.
Maybe not 7, 6.
Damn. Oh, well, that's all right then.
Yeah.
7.
I'm going to say 6-0 City. Easy.
6 though, easy.
De Bruyne field day, Bernardo Silva, Jesus, Sterling, Grealish, whoever plays, anyone. It could even be that Cole Palmer bloke.
Cole Plummer.
6-0.
As much as I want to back a Newcastle differential victory, I am going to go with a Man City 3-0 win. Bernardo's in great form. I think he'll score again here. Foden got 1 in the week. De Bruyne got 2. One of them will get some goals in this. Man City will win 3-0. The last game is Tottenham Liverpool on the Sunday, but we will be live for that one. So if you're watching on the Friday, if you're watching on the Saturday, and if you're watching on the Sunday, make sure to check it out. If you are watching this on Monday for whatever reason, you are too late. Sorry, mate. But yeah, Tottenham Liverpool will be a good game. We will be here from 4 o'clock live for it. Hopefully a lot of goals.
You better be there. Because you need to find out our prediction.
Yes, exactly that. And hopefully it'll be a good game, lots of action. It's our last TSC Live before Christmas. And yeah, hopefully, good game and it'll be a good stream. But yeah, thanks for watching or listening if you are on Spotify. Head over to the YouTube. And if you're on YouTube, head over to the Spotify. But yeah, thanks for watching and we'll see you next time.